It's Hispanic Heritage Month, and today we're spotlighting the discussion about mental health in the community. Jorge Alvarez, a mental health advocate and social impact strategist, joins us now. Jorge, thanks for being with us. So you're very active on TikTok, we've noticed, which
yes, I am.
is great. It's fantastic. You're sharing tips and tricks for dealing with some of the mental health issues we all face, right? So how do conversations about mental health on social media, what kind of a tool is that for you compared to in-person conversations?
Well, first, Terry and ABC, thank you so much for having me here. When I began advocating for mental health, it was from a place of not really seeing others who looked like me in the space. And so I started off on my college campus having conversations in lecture halls. But when I realized that I was about to graduate and I wouldn't have those same spaces to cultivate those conversations, I decided what better space than to go on TikTok, where I was seeing a lot of those conversations take place. And so since doing that, TikTok has served as a way for me to connect with my community, a way for me to really reach out to other Latinos and BIPOC folks and have these more challenging conversations that we don't really see in mainstream media and we don't really see represented in general.
How so? Like what? That's interesting. What kind of conversations, A, don't we in mainstream media cover and that strike you as important and need to be had?
Yeah. So, when it comes to mental health, we're seeing an increased trend in folks talking about it. The United States Surgeon General recently spoke on air regarding mental health and the youth mental health crisis that our nation's facing. But with that being said, there are a lot of cultures where this conversation just is not familiar. There's a lot of cultures where the language around mental health isn't commonplace. And these aren't things that you go home and talk about with your parents and your households. And so as someone who identifies as Latino, I firsthand have experienced that and lived that. And there aren't a lot of folks, if you look at the numbers and stats that look like me talking about these conversations who have a platform. And so that's where I felt it was really necessary for me as an advocate and someone who's just so passionate about mental health to have these conversations and bring them to my own platform.
Yeah, that's great. TikTok is such a powerful and fun tool. It's a time suck, right? Sometimes I just got to put the phone down. But you talked about you got in this space, not seeing a lot of people like yourself with your background and coming from your community. What does representation mean to you?
Representation is not just seeing someone who looks like you, but being able to actually see yourself as part of the narrative. So again, if we're not seeing a lot of Black and brown folks having these conversations, if we're not seeing a lot of professionals in the space to begin with, it's going to be more difficult for us to connect with the topic of mental health and for us to understand that it impacts us just as equally as it does your everyday person. And so for me, representation is truly being able to see yourself in that story and see other folks who are honoring their stories and sharing that just as I do. And so a really great example is, when I walk into a room and I see folks who look like me who are who are advocating for mental health or who are healthcare clinicians, for me, that is super powerful because I almost instantly feel safer. And I feel like there's a level of trust that is really unique to, someone who looks like me versus someone who may not identify with my same experiences.
Got it. We just saw this picture of you at the White House, because you did present at the White House, and I want to take a look at that again. And there you are, at the Mental Health is Health event at the White House. What was that about? What was that like for you?
Yeah, so that was actually the Mental Health Youth Action Forum at the White House, organized by MTV and other nonprofit organizations. And that was a super powerful experience because I was able to work with 6 other mental health youth advocates, and we were able to create our own mental health campaign over the course of 6 weeks with the support of nonprofit partners. And then we were able to pitch that campaign to industry partners as well. And in the video that you're seeing here, I was actually able to share stage with Selena Gomez, the United States Surgeon General, and the First Lady of the United States, where we were able to also share stories like I am today. And that was really incredible because there was a moment I remember where I looked around the room and I was like, wow, here I am on a stage in the White House when 5 years ago, I was at one of the lowest points in my life. And so to have that platform and to serve as a voice for all of the young Latinos and folks who, may not see themselves represented, that was a dream. And I'm really, really grateful that I had that platform to do so.
It's great. Your story is inspiring, I'm sure, for all the folks in that community, but for all of us, too. The journey that you're making. Can't wait to see where you go next. Mental health advocate and social
Thank
impact
you.
strategist Jorge Alvarez, thank you very much for being with us. Appreciate it.
Thank you so much. Have a good one.
Hi, everyone. George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for checking out the ABC News YouTube channel. If you'd like to get more videos, show highlights, and watch live event coverage, click on the right over here to subscribe to our channel. And don't forget to download the ABC News app for breaking news alerts. Thanks for watching.